Hello and welcome to the Logcast. This is our 25th episode of the year, and it's also marking the 2-year anniversary of Rare and Friends. Woo. Yay! I'm your host, David Jones, and I am joined this week by Jeff, but no one else,
hello.
Just Jeff.
Yeah, just you and me, buddy. Just you and me.
Everyone else decided they wanted to have lives and do stuff.
Right, visit family, go out of town, whatever they're all doing.
Who does that? Anyway, how are you doing, Jeff? How has your week been?
I'm doing pretty good. Week's been good. Don't really have any complaints. Hasn't been as hot as it was last weekend here, so that was good. And just been working, playing some games. You know, the usual. How about you?
The same for the most part, though honestly, we already talked about this a little bit earlier, but I haven't really been playing very many games this week because I just set up a Plex server with an old laptop, and now I've been using it as an excuse to get caught up on all the movies that I haven't seen yet. So I've been kind of not playing much games, watching movies instead, which seems to happen with me. Especially as an adult, when I have less time, I have more hobbies than time, so a lot of times I just rotate them out. I'm like, all right, this is a week I'm going to focus on my movie hobby, or this is a week I'm going to focus on my game hobby. So that was mainly what I did this week. Though I was going to segue that to what I actually played this week, which was mainly just Galaxy of Heroes on my phone, and I just picked up Titanfall 2 on sale for $20 yesterday.
Nice.
So
how far into that did you get?
I think the first 2 missions.
Okay.
I've been playing a bit of multiplayer too, so it's I can't decide which one I want to do more.
Yeah. What do you think of the campaign so far?
I'm liking it so far. It's hard to really say just from the first 2 levels.
Yeah.
I liked the first one better than the second, I think. But we'll see how it goes. It's definitely different, and I think it is.
Yes.
Probably definitely better than some of the other FPS campaigns going around nowadays.
Yeah.
From what I've played, this might change. I'll just rank it against Infinity Ward's pre breakup Infinity Ward's other games. I think I like it better than the original 2 CODs, and of course Titanfall 1, because that didn't really have a...
Yeah,
that was barely a campaign. It was just mic chatter over a multiplayer match.
Right.
I don't think I quite like it as much as the MW 1 and 2 yet, though, but we'll see how that might change.
It really opens up a few more missions into it, so stick with it. See. We'll see after you get past... There's a certain point that cemented it for me, so I'll be curious what you think after that point.
I definitely really like it. It's just it hasn't completely floored me yet. Right now, it seems like a very above average FPS campaign.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
So what have you been playing, Jeff?
Oh, let's see. I'm gonna be boring and say the usual Rocket League. Mm-hmm. I think the week that changes it'll shock everybody. I also played Donkey Kong Country 2 this week with my sister who's visiting, and we played through just the first world in competitive mode, and then I introduced her to ukulele. I didn't play it, but she did, and she really liked it. She used to play banjo as a kid, so and then played Minecraft quite a bit with my brother, and then yesterday I got the DLC for Zelda, so I played that most of yesterday.
Oh, I still need to download that. I was distracted by Titanfall.
Oh man, it's pretty great.
I think I'm gonna do that. I heard Titanfall is a pretty small campaign, so I'm thinking I'll get that up after. I got 4 days off of work, so I'll finish up Titanfall and then go on to Zelda.
Perfect. I'm curious what you think of A, the rest of Titanfall, and B, the new DLC. Trial of the Sword is hard as nails.
Yeah, honestly, the main thing I'm looking forward to is the map tracker.
Yeah, that thing's pretty sweet.
Yeah, because I feel like that'll make it a lot easier for me to find things on my own without using the guide.
Totally. Oh man, totally. What I didn't realize is you can like actually quote unquote push play on it, and it will replay your entire quest. Like it'll trace out the line for you.
That's
Which
pretty awesome.
I don't know. I thought it just showed you a line. Like I didn't realize it would do that. And it like shows you where you died each time, like when you warped. So you can kind of like watch that and just kind of relive your adventure. Be like, oh yeah, I remember here. Like there was one point, and I don't think this is too spoilery, but like right after Zora's Domain, you have to go up and get some shock arrows. And I tried to fight the Lionel at that point that protects them, and I died like probably 6 or 7 times, and so I was watching the replay, and that's pretty early in my game file.
Right.
And you just see me up up on that mountain going, ah, ah, ah. It's so...
Yeah, I think I tried like once, and I was like, yeah, I'm leaving that thing alone. I'm just getting the arrows.
Yeah. So, and then beyond that, like finding the new items and stuff is pretty cool. It kind of gives you riddles or hints
Oh, cool.
as to where to find them, so they're not totally just...
See, I assumed it just like threw them about the world, and you just had to find them.
I thought so too, and I was like,
that's what it
sucks.
does with the that's the day one season pass content are literally just thrown around randomly. With
I went and
hints.
looked for those. I knew those were on the Great Plateau because at least they had said that publicly in their
Right.
announcement. But so I went and looked for those. I think I found them all.
I think there's only 3. And there's the one with the Switch shirt is the only one that's really anything.
Yeah, I got the Switch shirt and I got 2 other ones. So yeah, I guess I got them. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think one has bomb arrows, and I can't remember what the other one was. They're useful early on, like so. It's like I think they're more for people who who are just buying the game that buy the season pass, because then they're actually more useful at the start. But later on, it's just kind of like collect them to collect them.
Yeah, but as far as the other stuff, I found the travel medallion, which lets you fast travel at any point, or set a point to fast travel to. I mean, you can always fast travel at any point, but it lets you set a point at any point. And then I found Majora's Mask, Midna's helmet, and all of the Tingle outfit. I can only find one of the Phantom armor, so still trying to find the rest of those. When I turned it off last night, I was too tired. So anyway, it's pretty cool, pretty fun, and it's a nice new challenge to go look for stuff.
Awesome, yeah. I look forward to that, and then the next DLC for it later on this year.
Yeah. Oh, and Trials of the Sword, I got like 10 rooms into that. It reminds me a lot of on Wind Waker on Outset Island. There's like that cave you can drop into that you just kind of go fight through hordes of enemies that get increasingly harder.
Should I even try that before I get all my heart containers?
I wouldn't, because I have all mine and I made it only through 10.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, I think I'm just going to get the masks and use the map and try to get all the shrines first, because I still haven't done that.
Oh, okay, yeah, I would definitely do that first.
Yeah.
What sucks is, like, I thought like if you died, you could just kind of keep retrying that room, or if you exited, you could go back into that room, but if you die, you start right back at the beginning, and that kind of sucks. I didn't check if I could save, because, the game usually just automatically saves. It didn't, so, yeah, I'm not totally sure on that. If you can't save while you're in there, I'll be a little annoyed. But the fact that it didn't auto-save between each, like, level was annoying. So
yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, I didn't even want to retry it again. I was like, oh, screw that. So
this is for the hardest of the hardcore.
Yeah, it is very challenging and unforgiving, because it strips you.
Hopefully by the time I get to it, there'll be tons of cool strategies online. Because I feel like this is going to be one of those things where I'm going to have to look up actual strategies about how to get past each segment as easily as possible. Because it sounds pretty hardcore.
Yeah. The one I died in, I shouldn't have died. The game glitched, and so one of the rooms, I don't know if this is going to spoil, I don't think it's going to spoil anything. Like, every enemy's going to be down there. So I was fighting a Hinox, whatever. And I did the, like, crouch and get on his hand and got on his belly, and I was, like, stealing his, I was trying to steal his, like, stuff on his necklace, which is, like, a really nice sword and shield and stuff. And I clipped through his stomach and just fell and that woke him up, and so he just took me out. I was kind of
that's a
pissed.
shame.
So anyway, yeah, it's good DLC. Highly recommend it.
Well, awesome. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. I think we may as well move on to the news after that fun. Okay. Our first item of the news is that Platonic finally released their Spit and Polish update, which is the part of the green and purple patch for PC players. So none for us console folks yet. Though I do own a copy of the PC version, so I'm not sure why I just don't try it there. But
Yeah, you could have tested it out.
that I have. See, I already I deleted it after I finally got my Xbox copy in the mail. So
Gotcha.
now it's just like, oh, I have to start over again and re-download it and make space for it again. But anyway, it is out. It's in testing for Xbox and PlayStation, along with the Switch version itself was also mentioned, even though we still don't even have a date for that. I get the feeling that maybe it's done and they're just waiting for the patch to be tested for it so they can release it.
It's basically what they implied.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So it means that literally, I bet you they were literally just waiting for this patch to be done. Like, they probably had finished it well, I won't say a long time ago, but it had probably been finished a lot quicker than we thought. And they just wanted to make sure that, if they're releasing a new version, that this was going to be the one without all the issues that had came with the release of the Xbox
Right.
and PlayStation version. So I think it makes sense, and I'm glad they did it that way rather than pushing it off and pissing off some more people with the casino glitch.
Yeah.
So
And good news, they did finally confirm that the casino glitch will retroactively fix your save file. So as soon as you enter the area, it will give you the tokens that are missing back, and then you can go recache them.
Yep. And there's a ginormous list of tweaks and fixes they made. Because this is not just bug fixes. They've actually changed actual gameplay related things. Like I
think
know
we covered that when they announced it, but
Yeah.
it's worth mentioning again if we did. There's a lot of changes, like design changes too.
Mm-hmm. Like I know I've heard from PC players that the grotto area. I think there's another thing.
Yeah, I saw something about that you can.
Yeah,
just walk through it
that they
now.
legitimately changed the design of that segment, so it's a lot easier now.
Disappointing. I mean, it
Yeah.
was hard, but you could always come back with your flying move, and they shouldn't have changed
I
that
think
one.
they didn't really need to do that, but I guess just so many people were complaining about it. I mean, it's nice that they listened, but I feel like you can't listen to everybody.
Right. No, you really can't. You can't pander to like the lowest denominator.
Right.
Like, I don't know. All I would have wanted out of it is if you reached that halfway point in the middle and you fell off after that point, that it would restart you there instead of the beginning. Like if they had just added that would have been perfect for me. Like essentially a checkpoint.
But I think by and large, most of the changes are massive improvements.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
Yeah, the only complaints I've heard from some are like, they made the grotto too easy, and I guess they added signposts to help you find the levels. And apparently, it's like seems a little bit like you really need that.
Yeah, that another one that I felt was kind of pandering to the lowest common denominator. I mean, I remember when I was first playing, I didn't really know where anything was, but just like the banjos before it, like I just memorized the layout eventually and figured it out.
Like both that and the grotto are parts that like there's slight frustrations with it, but then I was actually glad they did it that way because there was sort of a sense of accomplishment of finding everything and in the overworld and of beating the grotto. So I understand why they did it, but I was kind of disappointed a little bit that they pandered to the new school players, all the kiddies.
Yep. The
back in my day.
Yeah.
Don't make me go Cranky Kong on you now.
Yeah. No, I watched a video of somebody fighting Rampo with the new camera and the new jump ability. As far as going up inclines, you can jump normal height now instead of a reduced height. And that it wasn't a reduced height. It was that you jumped to the normal height before, but when trying to go up a hill, if you're jumping the normal height, you're only jumping as high as the hill in front of you. So it's a lot easier to clear the logs and a lot easier to just do it. So hopefully next time I do it, when the patch comes out, I won't have to cheat and fly.
Right, yeah, I did I didn't even find it until I had the fly move, so
Same.
yeah, so I don't even know how it was supposed to have been, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to. Because I think what I'm gonna do in my second playthrough of the game is that I'm actually gonna expand each world as soon as I can,
Yeah, ditto. There's no
since
reason not to.
that would definitely create a different experience rather than how I did it
Yep.
before. So
Cool.
anyway, anything
Alrighty.
else on ukulele? Should we move on?
Nah, I think we're good with
Okay.
that. The next news bit that we've got here is that a group of elementary age students who won I think the School Apps Challenge visited Rare's Twycross headquarters this week, and there's some pictures posted. It looks like they got to try out a HoloLens unit, which the only reason I put that in there is it's interesting to me that they have a HoloLens at Rare now, because I don't think they did when I was there, because I think I asked. And I don't know that particularly means anything, but I don't think it rules out that they aren't testing it in, like their incubation department.
Young Conquer 2.
With the real assets. That wouldn't actually be a bad idea, because Lucky's Tale or whatever this thing is was a VR game, and I think and people that I've seen post reviews of Young Conquer, they all praise the gameplay. They just don't like the art style.
Yeah.
So
Maybe they're
really
fixing it up. Maybe they'll go, over take the code and get your abomination of art assets out of it and put in ours.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they may have inherited the project, but
Yeah.
I doubt it. I think that's probably something original if they
Yeah.
are. And more than likely, they're just prototyping and experimenting at this point. I can't imagine it.
Yeah, I mean,
They've
they're a
got any
first-party
flagship.
studio, so I'm sure they
Right.
have first dibs and that type of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's not like Microsoft has many first-party studios to give their tech
No.
to. So
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anything comes of that, or if it's just something for more like because it is a useful thing for like office applications and Skype meetings and stuff. So it's not to say that it's not for just purely business purposes and not to create something on, but I don't know. Anyway, and they also posted a picture of the kids singing with Robin Beanland in the sound studio at Rare, and said that they were singing a song for Sea of Thieves. So it'll be interesting to see how they use children's voices. Not sure how that will work, but be interesting if it does. And if not, I mean, it may have just been an experience for them.
yeah, I think there's plenty of places they could put like a children's choir that would be like really creepy.
That's true. Yeah, like a haunted.
Yeah, like I
anything.
could see it like some skeleton, like a big skeleton fight, have like sort of eerie music in the back room with like a children's choir. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And that was pretty much it that I saw from that visit. It looked like the kids had a good time, and probably the chaperones did too.
Cool. There was also a new Tales from the Tavern podcast. It looks like they discussed E3 and the new build of the game. John McFarlane, Emma Joe Neat, Mike Chapman, and John I don't know how to
McMurtry.
McMurtry? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, John. And
He's-
about the narrative of the E3 trailer.
He's John McMurtry is the infamous or famous narrator of the E3 Sea of Thieves trailer.
Oh, see, I never knew who that was because I know that voice so well. I didn't realize because he's been in, hasn't he been in like a lot of just random YouTube videos?
He's
like the endings
done
and
a
stuff?
lot of their voiceover work, and then he
Yeah.
was one of the pirate consultants back during that Talk Like a Pirate Day video.
Oh, okay.
It was him and Bobby. I don't know how to say Bobby's last name. Lamarand? Sorry, Bobby.
I just know him as like the rare voiceover voice now.
Yeah.
Like I
It's
didn't
kind
realize
of-
this. I didn't. I was never like 100% sure who that was, but the
Most-
the voice is like so iconic now.
Most people thought he was Simon Pegg, apparently, after the E3 trailer.
Huh.
Which, I don't know who Simon Pegg is. I think someone said it was a Star Trek guy, but I
Wait,
honestly couldn't tell
wait,
you.
what? What?
I
You don't know who
couldn't tell you.
Simon Pegg is?
No,
Oh, God.
not by name. I'd maybe know him by his voice. I don't know. I bet
He's
you
in
he's
like
Scottish.
Yeah, he's in. So he's Scotty in the two Star Trek movies.
Oh,
He's in
there you go.
Shaun of the Dead. He's in Hot Fuzz. He's in
Okay,
like every Edgar White movie.
gotcha. I've never seen any of the new
He's
Star
in
Trek
Force
movies.
Awakens. The guy, the alien that gives Rey the rations. He's in that costume.
Okay,
He's in
got it.
like everything.
So he's like the main Scottish actor of Hollywood right now.
Yeah, he I mean he started out as kind of like a cult thing, but he's pretty cool. He was also, I think his big claim to fame was the British TV series Spaced.
Okay,
I think me and Kev have talked about that around you before and
probably.
recommended
Yeah,
you watch it, and then you
without any context, I usually don't register
yeah.
stuff like that. From memory.
No, I
But yeah,
love Simon Pegg.
a lot of people thought he was Simon Pegg, and Rare had to clarify that he was not.
That would be cool if they got Simon Pegg to do it though. Like be a
They don't need him if they got John.
That's true. I mean, just get him to be like an NBC in the game.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about the NPCs in this game. Just really quickly, bunny. What does he call it? Rabbit tracking. Not that. Anyway, because they said in their I want to say the IGN interview or maybe the GameSpot interview during E3 that the NPC characters are going to be memorable, kind of classic Rare characters. So that kind of piqued my interest a little bit because it's kind of the first that they've mentioned that. So there's hope for folks like us who want that Rare charm and humor, which the game is full of in assets, but not so much in character, because the players are the characters, and So, anyway, I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Should be good.
Yes. So there's some other tidbits from that podcast. Did you have a chance to listen to it yet?
I did not. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, it's okay. I've listened through it twice. There's lots of good stuff, but it was mostly kind of just talking about the experience of E3 and what they did, and getting to meet some cool people. And but beyond that podcast, there's another podcast, which is the Party Chat Podcast, which is hosted by the moderator of the Xbox subreddit. And that one featured Emma, Craig, and Ryan Stevenson, who's the only one we haven't had on our show, so we should probably have him on, who is the art director of Sea of Thieves. And they were talking just kind of about the game and the some of their past work at Rare and stuff like that. And I think the funniest takeaway I got from that episode was they went a little more in depth about the shark glitch we talked about a few weeks ago, and that Emma was saying they had people visiting the studio and got to play a build of it, and the sharks were flying and coming out of the water, and one of them ended up in a tree, and it was just it sounded really funny.
I would love to ride a shark if you're listening, Rare.
I know, man. I really want to have shark riding. Like, should be a way to tame them.
Especially flying shark riding. Like, have that be like the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
I want to fly a shark through the air that shoots laser beams out of its eyes.
There you go. I don't know about the laser beams, but magical rays of energy would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, just think.
There's got to be
you're just sailing around the
switch or
seas, and all of a sudden
right?
you just hear this noise, something soaring through the sky, and it's a dude riding a shark.
Pretty sweet. No, I don't know. With like the mer people and that kind of lore going into it, there's got to be like other magical stuff. So it would totally fit.
Yeah, make it happen.
Yes.
Also, looks like there's going to be some Sea of Thieves related item in this month's Loot Crate. Or is it just Loot Gaming month?
Loot Gaming. I don't know if they're division of Loot Crate, but yeah, it's a Loot Crate style loot gaming thing.
I don't know what the items are yet, but I guess if you're into loot boxes, you might want to do that. Yep. I've never had a loot box before.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Part of it sounds like cool, but at the same time, I feel like I'm probably just, for the most part, getting ripped off.
Yeah, you're going to get a bunch of cheap crap that you're not going to have room to display or use. And yeah. Some of it's like one cool thing probably for every 20 crap things. So I don't know. I guess someone who does it could attest better, but we'll see. And I'll be very curious to see what it is, if it's one of the official giveaways that Rare's been doing, or if it's going to be something custom that this company is going to kind of officially license. Who knows? But yeah. And then the last bit of news this week is that Rare held a large and what they called rowdy audio recording session for Sea of Thieves. At least I think we assume it was for Sea of Thieves. Had the whole community team, video team, and facilities team helping lend their voices. So I'm wondering if maybe they're kind of recording some tavern background sounds or some townsfolk. Like, who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, as you said, who knows? But I do think it's encouraging that they're just doing so much voice work now. I feel like that means that things are really starting to come together more so than we know.
Yeah.
Because that seems like something you do a lot closer to the end of things. So if they need that many voices, that means they must probably have like, a lot more NPC stuff, maybe a lot more quest related stuff.
Yeah.
Things that could require human noises.
Right. They did something I forgot to put into the news, but related to this, they did mention this week, or actually it might have just been Joe Neat, but mentioned this week that they had accidentally inserted a WAV file of Amir, who's been on the show, from like last year's E3 trailer, just him talking, and it was just kind of playing randomly throughout the world. So, curious. I mean, it is curious what it was meant to be and what file it was supposed to be in there. If it was him or something that we did while we were there. Like,
I wonder.
Cool.
I just thought of it too because I wonder if this could just be actually player voices. Because once you get into character creation, a lot of games with really in-depth character creation have options to sort of select a different voice for your various grunts and things like that.
That could be.
So that's something they could go through, because I don't think they've really talked about that. And I don't think of any of the footage that's been shown off, there's been very much like noise from the player characters.
Yeah, the only one I can even think of is in the E3 trailer when they fired the guy out of the cannon in like third person. So like when you were on the shore and they fired the guy from the ship to the shore, you could hear him kind of like screaming as he landed. But yeah, I don't recall hearing much else.
It's one of those things that you don't really think about it.
Right.
But that's been something that's almost in every other Rare game, is that usually your player character is at least a little bit vocal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and usually has some like loose noises when they get hit or die or things like that. So
yep,
that could be it.
Could be
or
it.
NPCs. Either way, it sounds like they're getting into the polished stage of things more. So sounds good.
Yeah. So I think that wraps it up for the news.
All right, so let's move on to our main topic. So, as I said earlier, this is the 2-year anniversary of Rare and Friends. Well, actually, it was June 30th, so this will go up like 2 days after. So this will be like a year and 2 days anniversary.
Two years and 2 days.
Yeah, whatever.
It's
I
like
meant
2/2 anniversary.
Yes.
On July 2nd.
Probably not going to be a really in-depth main topic today, but I figured since just me and Jeff, we can just go through and talk about like some of our favorite moments and things that we've done over the past couple years, and that'll hopefully entertain you, or at least shamelessly plug our own podcast and encourage you maybe to go look back on some of our past episodes that we really had a good time with.
As rough as they may or may not be.
Right. So yeah, if you're new here, you might not know about some of these, and we've actually done some pretty cool stuff that I still have to remind myself that they happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, yeah, it seems kind of weird considering, we're still a small, like, little fan site of a very small part of the gaming community. The Rare fandom is not a very big fandom. It's probably like literally one of the smallest fandoms I can think of, but the people in it are just so hardcore. So it's really crazy to me that like a studio like Rare like interacts, regularly with these small little crazy fan sites like us. So
yeah,
that's
exactly.
pretty cool. The first thing I have on the list, I think this was our biggest thing that happened to us. Our first big interview was former programmer Nick Macon, who works on making games now. He's working on a game called Raging Justice, which we've talked about off and on.
Yes.
I don't think we've really in depth talked about it in a while because there hasn't been any news.
Right.
I think the most we've said is like, man, I wonder if Raging Justice is coming out this year.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So I do think it'll hit this year, but maybe this fall.
Yeah,
but
I think he's getting really close.
yeah. So that I'm excited about that. It looks like a really gorgeous game. I
Yeah.
love the art style.
Yep.
So yeah.
Rendered in the SNES era style of pre-rendered sprites. It looks like that.
I've wanted a pre-rendered throwback game for so long. I don't know
Yeah.
why no one does it anymore.
I forget the artist's name, but it's another guy that used to work at Rare.
I think it's
It's
Jay something. I can't remember his last name.
Okay, yeah, I feel really bad. I've
Yeah,
asked.
I'm sorry.
multiple
Your
times.
art is amazing.
Yeah. And then of course
Please
that
don't hate
Steve Burke
us.
soundtrack. So it.
Yeah.
I've watched many a stream of Nick's as he was developing the game, and
Mm.
it just looks incredible. Looks like so much fun.
Yep.
Did you ever submit a name for yourself to be in the game when they were taking submissions?
Oh yeah, I don't remember what I didn't. Was it name? I didn't realize it was names for us. I thought it was just like name the baddies.
Yeah, it was Name the Baddies. I mean, I was vain and called mine. Jeez, I think I called mine Jeff the Wrecker or something.
Oh, yeah. I didn't put myself in there. I gave some suggestions. I don't even remember what they were though, but I
Gotcha.
think they got included.
Nice. Yeah, I think I saw mine during one of the programming, and
Cool.
he confirmed it with me. Like I even was talking to him in Twitch stream, and he like did a search and found it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're good." So pretty
That's
cool.
awesome. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
mine got. I'm sure mine did because I think I gave him like 3 or 4 or something, and I'm from what it sounds like they were pretty much including anything that got that was appropriate that was suggested. So
Pretty much.
yeah, I'm sure it's going to be one of those things where I don't remember what I said, but once I see them pop up, I'll probably that was one of mine,
Yeah.
and then I'll feel special.
Yep. So yeah, so the interview that you guys had him on was really cool. And that was the I remember distinctly that was the episode where you announced that I had joined the crew, the Rare and Friends team. So it was pretty sweet to listen to that interview, and then at the end to get a little shout out from you guys.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was thinking back when I was writing these down in the notes. I was like, was Jeff on board yet? I can't remember.
Not quite.
Well, you were just not part of this interview.
Yep.
And we now have our fantastic 4-man crew. You were the
Yes.
first new addition. Well, I guess technically Kev was the first new addition.
That's true.
Yeah.
But with the show, since he debuted with the show, it wasn't
yeah.
really
First
that well known.
addition to the show.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum. So yeah, that was a fantastic interview. He goes down, in addition to talking about Raging Justice, he went through a lot of cameo and Perfect Dark development.
Yeah.
And
Perfect Dark Zero.
Yeah, Perfect Dark Zero, I'm sorry. And I feel like we just learned like a bunch of random things that
Yeah,
I
like the
hadn't heard
Xbox
before.
Avatar's Sky app or something. I think
yeah, so it's
he mentioned he worked on that.
if you want to just learn some random tidbits and inside look into game development of those games, really recommend you check that out.
Yeah, that was a really good interview.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. The next kind of highlight was the trip of a lifetime.
Yeah.
That I got to go on and go visit Rare, and then really the highlight for the site and for the show is getting to have a full written like day one editorial of the Sea of Thieves experience on our site that got a ton of traffic for us just because it was like the first article published.
Yeah, I would find things about that. Like when I was looking through like the traffic, you would find where people linked it, and I would just find random links to it, and people like using it to like cite points when they were arguing with people about like especially about because there was that big thing about were you guys paid or something.
Yeah.
And like look at this article. This guy
was there.
right here.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool to get to do that, and then to have all those people and myself on the show was pretty sweet. I don't know if our viewers loved having that many weeks in a row of just,
wasn't it like 6 episodes? Or?
I hope not. It probably was. Yeah,
It was 5. It had to be at least 5. It was 5 or 6 parts.
And I can understand that retelling that same story 5 or 6 weeks in a row probably got boring, but for archival purposes, I think it's great that we were able to do that and hear each individual story because they were all very distinct.
Yeah, so. That's I think one of the main reasons we wanted to do it that way was
Yeah,
because the longer you wait, the less people are going to remember, and to have
exactly.
as many people on as we could to document their experiences.
Yeah.
Because I know, I love going back, and like I recently went back and read the experiences of RareNet and Rare Extreme when both of them went to Rare,
Yeah.
and I thought those were super interesting. I feel like
Hmm.
10, 20 years from now, having all those people come on and talk about that, I feel like they're going to be really interesting to a lot of folks who wanted to see how the studio was back
Hmm.
in
Totally.
2016.
Yep. And
So,
even, I mean, maybe Rare employees that join after the visit that are
hmm
curious how it went. I don't know. Like, it's a cool
yeah.
account of it. So yeah, it was pretty sweet little couple, I guess, month and a half we did there of coverage after Milk That Puppy.
If you did not enjoy it at the time, I'm sorry, and thank you for bearing with us.
Yes.
It
Yep.
was for the histories.
That's right.
The histories are very important.
And so shortly after that, just like a couple months later, for our podcast 1 year anniversary, you want to go ahead and take that?
Yeah, we had Rare Studio head Craig Duncan on our show.
Yeah, I still can't
That was a
believe
thing that happened.
Yep.
I'm not sure how, but it happened.
Yep. Well,
'Cause I think I remember we were talking like, hey, who can we have on? And then we were kind of mainly thinking at
aim
most
high.
maybe we could get Emma. And then
Right.
I can't remember who suggested Craig.
I
We're like,
think
hey,
I
maybe
did. I was
what
like,
if
you know
Craig
what?
would come on.
I know him. I can just ask.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it was like, there's no way he's saying yes, but
Yeah, that's what I.
let's just start big, and then we're like, then we're like, LOL, no, you guys are crazy. Then we'll
Right.
like, go down to like,
Not that
someone
anyone
a
else
little
would be
bit.
less, but yeah, I think you understand.
Yeah, no,
Studio head.
yeah. So we figured that like, yeah, no way. Here's someone from the community team. And that's
Right.
kind of at most, if that, or they could have completely said no to anything.
Right.
So, and then the fact that literally like it wasn't even that much notice, wasn't it? Like a week's notice or something?
Yeah, like we reached out like on Monday or Tuesday for like a Saturday recording.
Right.
It was
Oh
it
my
was
gosh.
crazy, and it was like, look, we don't have to do it this week. We could do it like the next week after or whatever. But Emma helped coordinate that with him and myself, and it just it worked out. It worked out
Yeah.
great.
Then we talked to Craig Duncan.
Yeah, and he was great. Guest
Yeah,
to
he's
have on
like
the
the
show.
nicest guy. And I feel
um,
like he just seemed, I mean, he's felt like he was really at ease with us too, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
Like he didn't,
And
it
that's-
didn't feel like he was just sitting there with like a corporate approved script or anything like that. It sounded
Right.
like, he was
He's
having a
a-
good time talking through
He's
stuff.
a gamer. He's a
Yeah.
great leader, good guy, very genuine, and it was awesome. It was awesome having him on the show. And if Craig,
Yeah.
if you are listening, thank you again. That was,
Yeah, thank you so
was
much.
incredible.
It was really good just hearing a lot of those game industry stories. I know because I was really interested in even his before Rare stuff where he talked about what was the studio name?
Well, he was at Sumo. And,
Sumo.
Yeah.
Sumo Digital.
Yeah.
I thought his like stuff he talked about with Sumo Digital was super interested. Because I'm actually kind of a little bit of a fan of their work too. They seems like
Oh,
they'd
yeah.
be really
I've really been enjoying their work lately,
Yeah.
especially like Snake Pass.
Yep,
So,
Snake Pass, and they've done the Sonic games, and
Yeah.
I've never played any of the Crackdown games, but I heard they're working on the third one, and I'm a lot more interested to check it out now.
oh, okay. I didn't realize they
So,
were helping
yeah.
or doing that one. That's cool.
Well, yeah,
Um,
well, I believe the original company that made it is like defunct.
Gotcha. Okay.
So now they have the original guy who's okay, whose name is also David Jones, which is the creator
Oh,
of,
yeah.
of GTA. So it's
Yep.
basically David Jones. Sounds really weird to say, then backed by Sumo Digital as his development team.
Okay. Cool.
So
Yeah.
could be fun.
Speaking of Sumo Digital, Snake Pass is for sale in the Xbox Summer Sale, I think, as well as the Steam sale. So pick it up.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
You need to
I
get
should-
that, dude.
I know. I already got. I told myself I
know.
would get one game.
I know. It's
Honestly,
okay.
I don't really care if it goes back up on sale because it's already so cheap. So
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. So after Craig, a few months later, not too long ago, we had Emma and Cameron from the community team on the show for an interview to talk about community and the Rare fans and all that good stuff. And that was pretty fun. Got some good stories out of them and great interview.
yeah, It was great talking to those guys. Because I think we've all interacted with them on like social media and
Right.
stuff like that. And of course, you actually met them.
Yeah.
But I think for me, a lot of people, probably just like listeners, probably a lot of them probably even hadn't heard them that much. I think they'd been on a couple podcasts,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
they've been on the Party Chat one a couple times. Or at least
yeah,
Emma
they're.
has.
I mean, they're on like I know Emma's now on the Sea of Thieves podcast all the time.
Right. Yeah.
I remember like right after the trip, I felt like I had never heard her voice. I think Pirate Port Radio had her on a
Yeah,
little
I'm
bit
pretty sure
before
it did.
us,
Yeah.
but I remember like right around that time was the first time I actually started hearing what she actually sounded like. So I thought that was cool to be one of the first people to have her on before she became a internet superstar.
Yeah. Yep.
That's right,
And
Emma. You're a superstar.
it was cool having Cameron on because I don't think Cameron's yet been on Tales from the Tavern.
Yeah, he's on really like less stuff than Emma.
Yeah,
Really.
he does a lot of behind the scenes work for the forum, I think, and
Mhm.
writes articles and something we actually didn't put in the news, but this week he wrote an article. It was essentially a personal recap of E3, and it's a good read, talking about their journey over, their experience in LA, and with the announcement and the trailer and all that stuff, and yeah, it's a good read. Very funny, classic Rare humor in there. He's a great writer, so check that out as well. On the Rare website or Sea of Thieves website? I think it's on the Sea of Thieves website. Can't remember.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm not sure though, but I feel like most of the newer write-ups have been there.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's another good interview, and we surely must do another one soon because it's been a while.
Yeah, I mean we're a 2-year-old show now, so that means lots of doors. Or I guess, well, 2 year site technically.
Yeah, the show's
I
not
think.
quite yet.
Oh shoot! When is our this 2 year anniversary of the Logcast? It's gonna be soon.
It was around Talk Like a Pirate Day, but it
Yeah,
was
like
like
around
3 weeks
September.
before that. Oh, it was the week. Okay, I remember. I always tie everything to personal events, so don't think this is super conceited. But the week that I won the that signed Banjo Kazooie thing, so it was like the third week of
Mhm.
August.
Okay, no, fair enough. See, I can tie things to video game releases.
There you go. Well, it was like 2 or 3 weeks after Rare Replay came out. Then
I know I feel bad sometimes when I was like, so when did you guys get married? I was like, oh yeah, right about the PS4 release date, so 2013.
that's funny.
Yeah,
That's one you should probably nail down in your head.
I know, but when literally people ask me to like play stuff, I sort of go back to what games I was playing around that time.
Yeah.
That's immediately where my mind
I'm
goes.
kind of the same way, and I remember talking with Chad from DK Vine about this when we were in England. It's like and I think Kyle the same thing, or maybe we were talking about this when we were playing Sea of Thieves. Doesn't matter, but we were talking about the same thing. It's like what Rare game came out at that point in my life is what I compared a lot
Right.
of things to. It's like, when did the Monica Lewinsky scandal happen? Oh, about the time Jet Force Gemini came out. Stuff like that. Actually, it
Yeah.
was before that. It was probably when Banjo Kazooie came out, actually. But stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. There's a couple other things I added to the list. I don't know if you want to jump into those.
Oh, yeah. We guess we could. This may or may not be a highlight to some of you, but
See, I thought it was a highlight. I thought it was really cool. As a fan,
did you
this was
guys
well
like it? Okay,
before I
this was a
joined.
3-hour episode. I think this
Yeah.
was way too much.
And maybe not the whole of it, but the fact that someone from our site achieved it within within a month of the game coming out or whatever.
Right.
Was Kev's Rare Replay 100% episode.
Yeah.
It's a pretty sweet achievement.
Yeah, it's amazing that Kev did it, but this should have been like a 3-parter probably.
Yeah, it should have been. It definitely should have been probably.
We just kept going until it was done, and we hit 3 hours.
You probably could have done 8-bit and then 64
Yeah.
slash arcade and then.
This was
Yeah.
one of our, probably think our first episodes. Wasn't it like episode
It was early.
5
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah,
I
it was
can't
very
remember.
early. And
Yeah,
it
so
was just like, holy
we
cow.
didn't realize at that point how bad it is to go that long.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure why, because it's very rare that I personally will listen to another podcast over like
Right.
an hour and a half. That's like my max.
Yeah, I have a hard time with it too, and part of it's just my time. It's like I can only listen really. Well, I only set aside time aside to listen during my commute. So, I get about 25-minute commute in the morning and 30 or 40-minute commute in the afternoon. So
yeah, like an hour is like the perfect time for a podcast.
Yeah.
We go over from time to time, but we've really been trying hard to like keep our podcasts around an hour now.
That's right.
Just because I know that literally is my
the advice of Craig Duncan.
Yep. It was Craig Duncan's suggestion, and he was completely right, because I'm the same way. Like, I like to listen for a podcast for about an hour.
Yep,
and that's it. And if I want to listen to more to podcasts, after that hour, I'd rather listen to another hour podcast, not the same one,
Totally.
So, yeah.
So, yep.
So it was a learning experience, but it was a really crazy, accomplishment for Kev.
Right.
And if you want to know what it was like for a human being to get all the stamps in Rare Replay, you guys should go and listen to that.
It was fascinating, some of his strategies for like Perfect Dark Zero, because that's an online only achievement system.
I know. I helped him with some of those because I remember grinding with him, and it was.
But holy cow, some of those strategies to grind that out. I still need to do that, and maybe we should all just do that together.
Oh my gosh, even just the little time I spent just helping Kev with it was like maddening.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Now, I think if the four of us just play it and maybe co-stream it on Mixer or something for the site, we could maybe try and get those for the rest of us. I don't have any
I had this thing where I really want to go back and I was doing it for a little while. I wanted to try to get all the stamps for the 360 games out of the way first. Okay. I did Viva Pinata, and then I was working on Cameo, but
nice.
I think
I'm getting close.
Now I like, it's been so far back that I can't remember what I've gotten because I was trying to get all the collectibles. So now I'm like, oh shoot, how much fruit did I get?
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Good episode. And and then the last one I put on there was the holiday episodes. We've done 2 of those now, and I was on the first one, which was kind of cool. It was my first time on the Logcast. And I remember I had a really crappy Wi-Fi connection at the time, so I was like cutting out and couldn't hear you guys. And I had a really crappy mic, and it was just a nightmare. And you guys were like, God, this guy's technically inept.
Yeah, I remember we even had like a conversation, like when you asked to be part of the staff and we were looking for new people. It was like, man, it was really rough what we got back from him. I don't know.
Yeah, it was... I didn't. Is
this going to be every time we have him on? It's going to be 10 times more work, or But
hopefully, I've made up for that.
Oh, absolutely! No, we're glad you had you on. I mean, it was just like one bad interview, but it was like there was so much editing work to fix it. We were like concerned that this was like either something was like horribly wrong with your setup.
Yeah, it was not good, but we survived.
Yeah.
But no, that just the concept of that first episode was really fun. The whole. I don't know if it was like a Doctor Who parody or if it was.
That whole episode was literally Kev's brainchild.
Okay, it was like this
more or less
time traveling, but like warping around the planet on Christmas Eve and visiting all the Rare and Friends fans, and just talking about like their first Rare experience and their Christmas Rare experience, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then last year, I don't. Did you have a highlight from that specific episode?
I think your interview was pretty good. There you go.
Oh, thanks.
So to me, I don't think me personally, I don't know. I didn't know about that episode.
That's true. You kind of missed a couple segments on it too, didn't you?
Yeah, I wasn't on all the segments, and to me, the final project was just, I thought was kind of weird, but I know a lot of people liked it.
Yeah, it was cool. The execution maybe was a little off as far as like my mic equipment was crap and some other people's were, and it, was poorly scripted as far as like pretending that, oh, you just appeared in my bedroom. Other than that,
right? No, I mean, Kev did a really good job putting that all together.
Yeah,
with almost zero help.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool of him, but to me, it's not as big of a milestone for me personally because I was barely involved with it,
Gotcha.
other than the segments I was on, and I got it online.
Okay, yeah. From an outsider, it was a cool thing. Yeah. And then last year's holiday episode, I thought we did a really good job with that, and Clay's intro stuff, and like adding jingle bells and your fireside welcome, and all that. And then like the commercials that I made, and Kev made one, and it was pretty fun.
Yeah, the Battletoads commercial you did was pretty top.
That was my favorite. Thanks. So.
Yeah. It makes me think we should do more stuff like that. With the commercials.
I think we
thought they
should.
turned out so well.
It's a big undertaking, and it was fun to do it like as a once-a-year Christmas thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe for the season, like not for the season, for the show's anniversaries, because those are going to be in August. We could do it, and that spaces out a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we got to
we could
have
just
Phil
do it.
Spencer on for our 2-year anniversary.
Yeah, we got to work on that.
Yeah.
I'll ask Craig to ask.
It's like every anniversary we have to have a
Somebody higher up.
executive higher up on the train.
Right,
So
so
after
then-
Phil, then we have what's the name of the new Microsoft CEO?
Well, it's Satya Nadella, but there's I want to say that the devices and services VP is ahead of
okay.
Phil.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's Panos. Anyway, one of those guys, and then Satya, and then I don't know, Bill Gates.
We can do a Bill Gates, Steve Ballmer co-interview. Get him out of retirement.
If we could get one of the stampers on this show, that would be something.
Yeah, those guys barely talk to like online outlets, let alone a podcast.
I think they've done 3 interviews in the last 20 years.
Part of me wonders if they're even real people.
I know, right?
They're just
They're-
some sort of
They're a ploy. They're all digitally
Yeah.
created. They were rendered in ACM.
Exactly. That would make total sense. They're what happens when like silicon graphics computers become sentient.
Exactly. That's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly what happened.
Yep. Well, alrighty. I think that's our highlights
Yeah.
for
That's about it.
2 years of Rare and Friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and I guess one more highlight I probably should have included at the very top was I created the site.
Yeah,
That was a thing.
there's that. Being the new fan site on the block.
Yeah. So yeah, like that and moving into podcasts when I first I think we've told the story before, but I'll mention that real quick. How me and Kev played basically a bunch of Halo 3 online, and I think this was, I can't remember, it was definitely after I started the site. We were just looking for like help with Rare replay stamps, so I think I posted on DK Vine asking for help with like Rare stamps or playing online, and then
okay.
we got together, played some Jetpack, played some Halo 3. And then somehow I told him that, I just started a Rare site. Hey, want to try a podcast? Maybe doesn't have to be regular. It could be fun to do every now and again. And then we ended up with a weekly podcast.
Woo!
So yeah,
Pretty sweet. Which is basically our bread and butter. We don't do a whole lot with the site right now.
yeah.
But eventually it'll grow.
We do have some reviews up, and those are pretty good. And yeah, we'll have more.
And I
Anyway,
have an editorial
I
I'm writing for the site that I've been writing for literally 18 months, but
I forgot
it'll
all
come out
about that.
eventually.
But yeah,
It's kind of the history of all the spin-offs, so it's a
Yeah.
big project.
no, I'm sure it'll be excellent, as is all your work, Jeff.
Oh, thanks.
So, bravo. All right, I think that probably about sums it up, though. So be sure to leave a like and subscribe and a comment on this video. If this is on YouTube.
Yes.
You might be on iTunes. If you're on iTunes, you should just give us a 5-star rating, because clearly we're 5-star kind of guys. Because Craig Duncan only appears on 5-star podcasts.
That's right.
Yeah,
if you
so
give us a
if you
5-star
want
rating,
Craig
we'll
Duncan to
dance
be
for
back, you have to give us 5 stars.
There you go.
There you go. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and like us on Facebook. And I think that covers all of it pretty much.
Yep.
So, yeah. You guys have a fantastic Independence Day weekend, assuming you're in the U.S.
America.
If
Yep.
you're not in the U.S. and you're in Britain, I guess you can mourn the loss of
You can-
America. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
And
whatever
have a nice
you do.
Tuesday. And try not to cry.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Bye.